Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take source material, could be articles, notes, research.
Anything, really.
Exactly. And we plunge right in to pull out the really valuable stuff, the insights that help you get properly informed and fast.
Think of it as us guiding you through it all. We point out the important bits, maybe some surprising things, and help make sense of why it matters.
Right. And today we're diving into something I find really interesting. Speaking speed and how intensifier words are used in Indonesian. We've got this PDF source material you shared.
Yeah.
And it gives us a great jumping off point. We'll look at a short dialogue, break down some key language points, and even touch on the cultural side of pace.
So the mission really is to unpack all that. So you don't just learn the words or grammar rules, but you actually get a feel for how they're used.
And what it tells you about communication style, maybe.
Exactly. Getting that practical knowledge that makes the language feel, well, real.
Okay, sounds great. Let's start right where the material does, with this brief chat between Nurul and Ahmad. It starts with Nurul asking about someone who speaks slowly.
Yeah, this little exchange, it sets everything up nicely. So Nurul asks, "Dia budia," which is basically, is he stupid?
Ooh, blunt.
Yeah. And Ahmad comes back with, "Tidak, dia sadas bangit." No, he's very intelligent.
Okay, so a direct contradiction there.
Yeah.
Using bang it for very.
Right. Then Nurul, maybe a bit puzzled, asks, "Kenapa dia bicaranya lambat? Why does he speak slowly?"
She's still connecting slow with something negative.
Seems like it. Ahmad explains, "Dia selalu pikir dengan hati-hati." He is always thinking carefully.
Ah, so careful thought, hati-hati.
But Nurul pushes a bit more. Jadi dia tidak bisa pikir dengan cepat, so he can't think quickly.
Still on that speed thing?
Yep. And then Ahmad kind of turns it around. He says, "Kamu bicaranya terlalu cepat, you speak too quickly."
Ah, okay, so a bit of a twist ending there.
It really is. And just in that short conversation, you've got this link between speed and perceived intelligence, bodo, stupid, versus cerdas, intelligent.
And the idea that slowness might just be carefulness, pikir dengan hati-hati.
Plus, the concept of speaking too quickly, terlalu cepat. It introduces all these keywords. Bodo, cerdas, lambat, cepat, pikir, hati-hati, terlalu.
And bang it.
And bang it, yeah. But also this idea that pace isn't just like a fixed ability. It's a characteristic, maybe a choice.
Or maybe just too much sometimes. It does make you think about those instant judgments we make based on how fast someone talks.
Totally. So let's dig into some of those words a bit more. Hati-hati is a really good one to start with. The source notes, it's hati repeated.
Yeah, hati means heart. Right?
Exactly. So hati-hati is literally heart. Kind of poetic, isn't it?
Yeah. But it means careful or watch out.
It's used like a warning. Be careful, watch out for danger. But not just physical danger.
Right, that example was key. Hati-hati kalau, bicara, be careful of what you say. Or literally, be careful when talking.
It connects that idea of the heart, maybe your inner thoughts, your intentions directly to your speech.
So it implies a kind of thoughtfulness, a consideration of impact. Much deeper than just be careful, that's hot.
Precisely. It suggests you should engage your heart or mind when you speak. Then there's bicaranya. We saw that twice.
Yeah, the bicaranya lambat, he speaks slowly. And kamu bicaranya terlalu cepat, you speak too quickly.
So the material breaks this down. Bicara is the verb to speak.
And the media suffix.
Here it works like the way of, or hisher way of. So bicaranya is the way of speaking or their manner of speech.
Ah, I see. So it's not just that they speak, but how they speak. It describes a quality.
Exactly. Like the other example given. Karena gugup dia bicaranya terbata-bata.
She speaks stammering because of nervousness. That captures the manner perfectly. Terbata-bata meaning stammering.
It's a neat construction for talking about someone's specific speech style. Really useful.
Definitely. Seeing them in sentences helps. Let's look at a couple more from the source. How about pikirkan keputusanmu dengan hati-hati?
Okay, think about your decision carefully. So here, hati-hati applies to the mental act of thinking.
Right, reinforces that deliberate, thoughtful quality we talked about.
Right.
Like Ahmad described the slow speaker.
And the other one you mentioned earlier, bubur itu enak banget.
That porridge is very tasty. Using bang it again.
Yeah, the informal intensifier. Ahmad used it for cerdas banget. Very intelligent, clearly dials up the tasty.
Which is a perfect lead-in to the next big point. Intensifiers.
Yes. The grammar focus. These are the words you use in Indonesian to, adjust the intensity of an adjective or adverb, making something very this, or to that, or quite something else.
And terlalu was the one Ahmad used on Nurul. Kamu bicaranya terlalu cepat. It means too or overly.
Right, like in the example, kemeja ini terlalu mahal, the shirt is too expensive.
So terlalu often implies it's gone past a good limit, maybe a bit negative.
Often, yeah, it suggests excess. It's not just expensive, it's like prohibitively expensive. More than it should be, maybe. Now, compare that to sangat.
Sangat also means very or so.
It does. It also shows a high degree, but it doesn't automatically have that negative feel. It can be positive too. And the key thing, it goes before the adjective.
Okay. So, kemeja ini sangat mahal.
Meaning, this shirt is very expensive, still pricey, but it's more of a factual statement of high cost, less of that over-the-top feeling than terlalu.
Subtle but important difference. Okay, then there's sekali.
Sekali also means very, just like sangat.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Placement. Sekali comes after the adjective.
So kemeja ini mahal sekali.
Still means the shirt is very expensive. Same meaning as sangat mahal, just a different word order. You get options.
That's cool. Placement, changing the word choice like that. The source also had benar.
Right. Benar means true or really. So benar is like doubling it up, really, or just really in English.
Kemeja ini benar mahal. This shirt is really expensive.
Yeah, it adds emphasis.
Yeah.
Maybe you're surprised by the price or you strongly agree it's expensive. It underlines the really.
Okay. And what about for like dialing it down a bit? Not very, but...
Right. For milder intensity, we have kakap and lumayan.
Both mean enough, quite, rather pretty.
Yep. And they're often interchangeable. Kemeja ini kukap mahal or kemeja ini lumayan mahal.
Both meaning this shirt is quite expensive.
Exactly. It signals, a moderate level. Not super high, but definitely not cheap. It's quite pricey.
Makes sense. And that brings us back around to bang it.
Our informal friend bang it. Yes. It's the everyday casual word for very. It does the same job as sangat or sekali.
Like cerdas bang it or enact bang it.
You'll hear it constantly in conversation. It's very, very common.
This whole set of intensifiers is incredibly useful, isn't it? It's not just about grammar, it's about tone.
Absolutely. Are you saying something is too much or really great or just quite nice? These words let you capture that feeling.
Makes your Indonesian sound much more natural, much more expressive.
Definitely adds color. And speaking of sounding natural, the source material then shifts focus a bit from the words themselves to the cultural side of speed.
Yes, it mentions something many learners notice. Indonesian speakers can often talk really fast.
Which can be a challenge, for sure, when you're trying to keep up.
And part of that speed, apparently, comes from just casual speech habits. Shortening words.
Yeah, omitting things, squishing words together. The example given is great. Formal Indonesian might be besok kamu mau pergi kemana for where are you going tomorrow?
Right.
But casually you'll often hear besok mau kemana.
Wow, that's much shorter. Mau pergi ke becomes just moke.
Exactly. Those kinds of shortcuts make a huge difference to the overall pace.
It really shows the gap between, say, textbook Indonesian and how people actually chat.
Definitely. And thinking about speed brings us back to that first dialogue, where slowness was almost seen as a negative.
Right, Naru's assumption.
But the source introduces a counterpoint with a famous Javanese proverb.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Alan alan asal kelakon.
Alan alan asal kelakon. What does that mean?
It translates roughly to slowly and surely, as long as it gets done.
Slowly and surely. That's interesting. Puts value on deliberation, on completion, not just speed for speed's sake.
Precisely. It suggests a different cultural value. And the material connects this, interestingly, to regional differences in speech.
How so?
It observes that people from Central and Eastern Java, mentioning places like Surakarta, Semarang, Surabaya, they often tend to speak, well, slower.
Slower than where?
Slower and maybe more gently compared to speakers in, say, Jakarta, who are often perceived as speaking very rapidly.
Wow. So the pace of speech could actually be a regional thing, tied to different cultural feelings, maybe like that proverb.
It suggests that, yeah, it's not just individual variation. There might be broader patterns linked to regional culture or identity. It adds a whole other dimension to understanding speech speed.
That's fascinating. It's not just about the words, but the rhythm, the pace, the cultural weight behind it all.
Absolutely. The speed, the intensifiers you choose, it all paints a picture.
Okay, so pulling this all together for you listening, we started with that simple dialogue and saw how it opened up questions about speed and smarts.
We look at keywords like hati-hati, careful, and bicaranya, the way of speaking.
And we got a whole toolkit of intensifiers terlalu, sengat, sekali, benar-benar, kakap, lumayan, and the very popular bangit.
Yeah, tools to add nuance and feeling. Plus, we touched on the cultural side, how Indonesian can be spoken very quickly using shortcuts.
But also how, in some regions, influenced perhaps by ideas like alan alan waskal kilakan, a slower, more deliberate pace is common.
So hopefully this gives you a much richer feel for the language. Beyond just vocabulary lists, you get a sense of the style, the culture embedded within it.
Definitely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with, building on all this. How much do you think the way we speak our pace, how strongly we emphasize things using words like intensifiers, how much does that reflect not just grammar rules, but deeper cultural values?
Or even, as we saw, regional identities. Something to ponder maybe next time you're listening to or speaking Indonesian.
Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe.